Welcome, it's great to see you here. Today, we are going to create a stunning portfolio website that can showcase your skills, experience, and projects. This website will be built using the latest and most advanced technologies, including Next.js13, Tailwind, CSS, and TypeScript. The combination of TypeScript and Next.js is becoming increasingly popular, and for good reason. Many tutorials cover Next.js, but not many delve into the powerful pairing of Next.js13 or Next.js and TypeScript. If you've been browsing job descriptions lately, you likely have noticed that TypeScript expertise is in high demand. In fact, many companies prioritize candidates with TypeScript knowledge over those with just Next.js. So, if you've been avoiding TypeScript, now's the time to embrace it. It's coming for you. In our exploration of TypeScript and Next.js, we'll also dive into the exciting new routing features introducing Next.js13. This update brings enhanced flexibility and performance to your applications, making it an essential aspect to master for modern web development. Don't miss out on the opportunity to boost your skill set and become a sought-after developer by learning the ins and outs of TypeScript and Next.js, and stay ahead of the game with Next.js13 routing. Okay, what are the prerequisites for this video? You need at least basic knowledge of web development, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you have Next.js, React, or TypeScript, that would be great. Otherwise, you are here to learn, so that's fine. The purpose of this video is to teach you how to build a dynamic and professional portfolio that you can share with companies meanwhile you practice the stack. By the end of this tutorial, you will have a better understanding of these technologies and the skills needed to create a website of your own. I'm going to start the project in a similar way of how I normally do it. The project here has all the installations done, so it's ready to go for you. So that means that Next.js, TypeScript, Tailwind CSS is all installed. So you just need to run npm install or yarn. And I use yarn, but you can use wherever you want. So as I did in my previous projects, I will also upload this project to GitHub with an initial state branch and a final state branch, or a in progress, not final. And I will leave all the details in the description box below. So make sure you clone the new repository called Portfolio Website, a Portfolio App, and you check out to the initial app branch, okay? Let's have a look at what we are going to build first. So this is the portfolio that we are going to build. We have here the header with the navigation, the name. By the way, all of this data, I completely made it up. We are going to have here a photo of this person, or this Richard Brown, and a bit of information about him. Here at the bottom, we have the social media or email and so on of this person. And you will have to put your own links. And then in my projects page, we are going to have a list with cards. Each card represents the project. And so, for example, personal finance tracker, movie recommendation, tic-tac-toe game. This is actually a project that I uploaded a couple of weeks ago. So I hope you can add this to your portfolio website. And yeah, and so on. And then here in Contact Me, we are going to have a contact form so companies can contact you. So we are going to make this work using APIs. And yes, this is going to be completely dynamic. And all of this data, we are going to get it from, we are going to have a database in our own repo, and just as a file, a JSON file, and we are going to read the data from it. And yeah, so stay with me because this is going to take a while, and some of this work might spill over to the next video, okay? Let's go to the VS Code. I have a challenge for you. Are you up for it? I'm offering a one-to-one session with the first 2 people who complete this tutorial and meet the requirements. During our sessions, we can share experiences, and I'll be happy to offer advice on your job search or help with any struggles you might have. To participate, simply follow the step outlined in the description box below. First, add one of the suggestions I'll mention at the end of the video. Then, let me know you finished the course by leaving a comment. Finally, send me a link to your GitHub repo by messaging me privately on Twitter or via email. Are you ready to take on this challenge? Let's do it. First thing we are going to do is go to Next.js config, and here we are going to enable the experimental features. So for that, we need to say experimental, and then brackets up there, and then this is true. Okay, we save this. And now we should be able to have access, be able to create the pages in the new directory, which is within app. But let me run the project first. So yarn run that. So here is our home page. So first, what we're going to do is remove these pages, because in Next.js13, with the experimental feature on, this is not how you do the routing. So I'm just gonna remove it and now create a new file in the root called app. And now we are going to add a page here. So page.tsx. Just like this. Let me just add here home page. We need to kill the project, kill the run, and run again, yarn run dev. Okay, yeah, allow. Run this again, and here we have our home page. But not only this, if we go back to our VS Code, we can see that Next.js has created for us these two files, head and layout. Okay, this is really cool because this is going to allow us to put a common layout for all the pages and a common head for all the pages as well. Cool. Okay. Let's go back to the designs. We are going to start creating the header here. So we are going to create the layout, and as part of the layout, we have the header and the footer here. And then we will move on to creating the first page, the home page, and then my projects and so on. So for that, here in layout, I want to, we have the body, but I want to have within here the header and footer. So I'm going to create a folder within app called components. And here I'm going to have a header and a footer. Okay, so just gonna have header. I'm just going to export it by default. Yeah, and so let's just think about how this is going to work. First, I'm just gonna leave it as it is here in header, and then in footer, I'm going to do the same. And just gonna export it. Okay. Save this. And I'm going to go to layout. And here in layout, I'm going to have within body, I want to have my header, children, and footer. So header, import from there. Then footer. Okay, if I save this, yes, we can see it here, header, homepage, and footer. And if we create a new page, let me just create my projects. So within app, my projects, okay, and here I need to create page again, page.tsx. And my projects. Okay, If I now come here and go to my projects, I can see that the header and the footer is the same. If I go back to the home page, I can still see it. Okay, so this is a great addition that Next.js has introduced, because before you will have to create this layout manually as a component and then put it within the _app file. But yeah, it's within this file that we have here that we removed previously. Okay, so we have our main structure. Before I continue, let's configure Tailwind CSS, because that's what we are going to use for our CSS, and it's quite important to have it ready. So first thing we need to do is let's come to the post CSS config, because we need to add something here. In Tailwind CSS, we need to make reference to this file here, tailwindconfig.js. So for this config, and now Tailwind config.js. Okay, just like this, it should be okay. And now if I come to tailwind.config, here is where we add all the configuration of our Tailwind, right? So the things that we want to have, the colors, the fonts. I covered all of this in a previous tutorial, in my tutorial about the creating a resume app. So if you want to go through it in detail, please make sure you check that video up. I have the timestamp in the video, so you could just go directly to where I talk about Tailwind configuration. Okay, so here we need to make sure that we add all the routes that we want to support Tailwind CSS. Okay, so pages, components, and app. This is enough for us. Then within the theme here, we want to add colors, and I'm just gonna copy my theme colors, gonna paste it here. So make sure that here you specify the colors that you want for your project. You don't need to copy, even if you're following along these tutorials, you don't need to copy everything exactly the same, you know? You can customize your portfolio however you want, and that will be great. So you can make sure that you don't have a portfolio that is exactly the same as someone else's portfolio. So make sure to use your imagination, your creativity, and use different colors if you fancy, okay? Then we have font family. And for the font family, I'm just going to use these ones. And we have font size. Okay, all of these font size, let me make this smaller. Okay, and the min width, I'm also going to add to this. We'll cover all of this later. And let's see. And then in extend, this is everything that we want to extend from the by default Tailwind CSS. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy and paste and go through it quickly. So I'm extending the width. So when it's 1/3, when I type like this, I want to have 30%, min height 50-55 pixels, box shadow. I'm just specifying here the box shadow that I'm going to use in the footer. So like this, background image. I'm also specifying this. This is for the header, spacing, border radius, and flex basis. When you are doing this on your own, it's probably more normal that you add your basic configuration. You start working in your project, and then you might add more configuration to Tailwind CSS. That's completely normal. Nevertheless, if you know this detail from the beginning, maybe because you have the designs and you know that here we have a shadow and things like that, you could just do it as when you are setting up the project, so you make sure that, yeah, you're ready to go to use these classes. Yeah. Okay. And then in screens, I'm not 100% sure if we need this, but I'm just gonna add it. Why not? So yeah, screens, SM, MD, LG, XL. And then plugins will have any plugin. Cool, let's continue now that we have all of this. And let's close this. We don't need this anymore. Let's just run the project again. And okay, let's just save it. This should all work the same, okay? And here I'm going to go back to, let me just close page for now and next config. And this one as well. So this is the structure that we want. Let's go back to header. And here, so we are gonna wrap this in the header tag, okay? And let's just have a look at what we have. In the header, we have an image at the bottom, and we have this background color, like linear gradient color. That is the one that I actually specified here, linear gradient, okay? And so yeah, so then we have the navigation at the top, and this would be the H1, which is the name of the person, here at the bottom. Cool. So to do that, I'm gonna divide it in two blocks. The first block is going to have the content like navigation, H1, and so on. And the other block is going to be the image. So let me just do this. It makes more sense. Return. Okay. Live. Okay, and here the image. And this is going to be the Next.js image. So let's just import it. Okay. This is going to be our priority. So this is, we're specifying that from the content of the page, this is the image priority to render. This is important for the core web vitals, but if you don't know what core web vitals mean, don't worry. It's not that essential to know at the moment. First, we need to learn how to build websites, right? So let's come here. We can see that the height is 385 and the width 1728. But so let's just round it up, and height, yes, 400, width, let's just say 2000. Okay. We are going to add some class names here, and okay, so class name, just gonna leave it empty for the moment. RC, leave it empty. Alt, we also need to add alt for accessibility, and let's just leave it empty, and ARIA label as well for accessibility. Now we can close it. Okay. And the format is really odd. What am I missing here? Okay. Now, good. Okay, so in the div, we are going to have the navigation first. So let's use the tab nav. Okay. And within the navigation, we are going to have these 3 links. For now, let's just set the 3 links. And then we are going to have the H1. It's also going to have a class name and the name of the person. Okay, so this is the main structure. Okay. Cool. So before continue, we need the data. And for the data, like this name of the person, the image, and the image URL, and so on. Now for that, we said that we were going to have a database within our own project. So let's just go ahead and within app, we are gonna create data. And then we could just call it data again, data.json. And yes, or data.json or page data.json, that's fine. Yes. And here, I'm just gonna copy all my data. Okay. And I'm just realizing that I'm just gonna leave this as TSX rather than JSON. TSX, it works really similarly, but instead of having a JSON format, we just have it like normal JavaScript. Well, normal TSX in this case. Export const pages. Okay, so let me just go through it quickly. So here in pages, I'm specifying the 3 pages that we are gonna have: about me, my projects, and contact me. Okay, the about me is actually our homepage. So I could rename this page later, but it's fine. So by rename, I meant only here. Here. I could set about me page. Okay. And let's just close this. Okay, so each of them has an ID, and this is because we are going to map them. And then we have the homepage data. So hello, I'm Richard Brown, which is this part here, and a software engineer as a beginner and yes, all of this. So for the homepage data, which, to be honest, I'm calling it here homepage. I might update it to about me page. Okay, about me data. Contact me. So this is for this part here, contact me data. And here in projects, this is an array of objects, and each object, let me go to this one, the tic-tac-toe game. We have a title, body 1, body 2, image. So this is the name to the image. Links. So the links to the source code and so on. And this is just an example, right? But this could be tic-tac-toe app. Cool. And yeah, this is just really sample data. So you'll see that some of the links maybe are done, yeah, and maybe are not updated, but now I'm just checking them, they seem all updated. But yeah, here obviously you need to put your own data, okay? Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to create a portfolio of fake data, okay? Use your real data. And let's just save this and come to header. I'm just realizing that I have this, but in header, I haven't saved the name. So in about me, I could say here name. Okay, save it. You obviously don't need to have the data structured like this in a different file. You could just go ahead and just add it here, but I find it really useful to have data in only one file. Maybe if it's your own name, you don't need to, but for example, the project, this is really useful because you could just come here, update the data. It's a lot cleaner and easier to find. And you can update multiple things at once. So yeah, this is quite useful, and it's also useful to get, it's also good to get used to working with external data, no hard-coded data within your components. Okay, so now that we have our data, let's just save this, and we will add TypeScript. This is quite important. It's quite important that you learn TypeScript, so we will add TypeScript, but for now, I'm just gonna start typing it like normally in JavaScript, and then we'll add the types, okay? So nav. For the nav, first I'm going to pass here the data. So this is going to work in a really similar way of the resume app. The header is gonna has one argument that is data, and within in this data we are gonna pass this data here in the layout. Okay, so data, and it's here where we import the file data. So import the data from, and it wouldn't be like that, would be okay. About me data. Where was I? Here. Port about me data from, and now data. And now here I can just pass the about me data, save it, and here we go to header. Here it's just complaining because of the types. Exactly. We are not specifying the data, so it is implicitly has an any type. That's fine for now. So in layouts, okay, we pass about me data and header. Just close this, and here, yes, no, data dot name. Save it, and let's just go to the site. Yeah, Richard Brown. Cool. Okay. So in the nav, we're going to have a map. We're going to use a map. So data.map. And then you can call it element or whatever you want. And, oh, sorry, let's just call it page actually. And here within the page, we are going to have a link. We are going to use Next.js link. I didn't mean to do that. Next.js link, yes. And it's going to have an area label. Let's just leave it empty for now. It's going to have a key. Every time that we use a map, you know, every element needs to have a key. And we know that this is the page ID. So let's just add the href. And let's come here. So we have ID, label, and link. So actually, let's just update this. Page, label, page link, and we only need the classes. And in the middle here, we'll have page.label. Okay. Data is not a function, so sorry. Well, let me just save this, and the reason for that is data map is not a function. Okay, so within data, we specify, let me just come here. Here, we are passing the about me data, but in the header, in the navigation, I actually need the pages data, okay? And what it was saying is the about me data is not a function because here, that data.map is not a function because this about me is an object. It's not an array, it's an object. So let's come here. And I'm just thinking because for the about me, we only need the name. So I could say, instead of doing it like this, I could say, I could have page and then the name. Yes, okay. So let's just say I passed. I'm gonna pass the name. So here, it's not letting me. this. Now, yeah. And then pages. And then need to pass here pages as well. Import pages. So pass them down here. So because the name is the same, we could just do this. Okay, so now within data, this is what we have. And now in header, about name and pages. So pages, and now here we could say name. And let me check that this works because not 100% sure what I'm doing. Okay, save everything. Pages, cannot read property of undefined. Okay, and okay, let's just move it out. Just causing me issues now. Let's just move it out. Yeah. So we are gonna say name equal about me data name, and then pages equal pages. Okay. Okay. Yes. I was trying to put it within the object, but if I was doing it like that, I will have to do it a little bit different here as well. So this is just easier to pass the props like this specifically. So yeah, we have the name and here the pages. Let's go back to header and open this. Okay. And let's see where we have our pages here, because I cannot see them at all. They are empty. Okay. So pages and label. Okay. Pages. Right. So I wonder why they are not showing. So I'm just gonna put here the console log pages. Let's hide this. So as you can see, you are getting what what it is to actually code. You know, there are always issues, there are always errors, so just get used to that. Image is missing the SRC. Well, that's not important for now. Okay, so I cannot see here the console log. So something that I do quite a lot is add something to make it easier to identify the console logs. I'm not getting pages. Of course not, that makes sense. So pages, I might gonna have to cut this so you don't see me here wasting my time trying to find out what the issue is, but this is the real life of a software engineer, honestly. The time that I spend with little mistakes, you will have no idea. But it's good that you see it, so you'll see that you are not the only one. We all go through this all the time. So, especially if I have a camera filming me. Okay, and Okay, I was looking in the wrong place because the console log, we can only see them in this internal terminal, not in the browser console. Because all of these components that we created, they are server components. So it doesn't quite work like with the page directory. With the apps directory, all the pages, all the components that you put inside, all the TSX, or if you were using JavaScript JSX, they are all server components by default. If you want to convert it into client, you will have to come here at the top and specify it. Use client, just like this, but we'll see this later. Okay? And this is probably complaining because this will be the first element. So this needs to be the first line. Yeah. Okay, we don't need that for now. So we don't need that in this page, basically. And so let me just come here and I can see that we have the data. So it's definitely something that I'm doing wrong here. And I can see the mistake here. I think in every tutorial that I do, I have this mistake, which is I'm creating here an arrow function and I'm wrapping it in curly brackets and I'm not adding the return key. Every single time, I forget that. Cool, okay. Just remove this. Now we can see them. About me, my projects, and contact me. Okay. Let me remove the console logs. And we could start adding the styles and the images as well. So before that, actually before the style, let's just add the images because we are missing here the image. So I'm gonna come to public and here I'm gonna create a folder images. And I am going to just copy all the images that I have. Okay, and these images needs to be a photo of the tools that you've been working on, the background image for the header, a picture of yourself. This is the picture of Richard Brown, the person that I made up. And yes, other images. These images are just to dress the website. This. Okay, so now here I need the header image. Okay, so I can come to public again images and let's just see which image was this one. Okay. Because we are adding them to the public, I actually don't need this, but I just need to add here images. And in alt, image of, and then we could pass here this name. So let's just converting into a literal template. We need to wrap all of this in curly brackets. And here I can pass the name. And I could use the same for the area label. So if I inspect this, we can see here the alt and area label. Okay, let's add the styles then. For the header, class name, just gonna add this to all of them. Okay, so first, okay, if I go to the design, let's just have a look. We want to have a display flex here, which is a column. I also want to add this linear gradient as the background. And yeah, let's just start for that. So flex is a flex column. Position is gonna be relative. and then background linear, and it's going to be background linear, and I just want to be this color here. So can and just put it here, okay, and with full and age 48. Okay, so we added the styles, but there is this one little thing I forgot. So we need to create the styles file. So here in the root, I can just come and say global.css, and I need to call this in our layout. Okay, so import .css. Okay. I save it, and then in global CSS, we need to call Tailwind base, also Tailwind components, and Tailwind utilities. Okay. Now that we are here, let's just add a few styles here to our layer base. So for the H1, H2, H3, H4, the font family is going to be, Oswald, or if that one is not available, Proxima, Nova, and System UI, and then sans serif. Okay. HTML, and then the rest. I don't remember what the name was exactly here. Otherwise, I'm just gonna copy this. Proxima Nova and sans. Okay, save this. And let's just also add the styles for the H1, because I'm gonna need them here. So H1, so here to the apply, and now the text. This is going to be for Excel. For mobile, it's going to be 6 cells instead. Save this. We can see it here, big. Okay. It's a bit bigger than the signs, but it's fine. And yep. Go back to the code. Okay. Let's just save this and go to the header. Let's just check. I want this navigation to be a flex row, and okay, aligned to the right of the screen at the top, and this name at the bottom and the left bottom corner of the screen. So okay, so for this div, flex, this is the div that wraps all this one, like the navigation and the title and the name. So flex column. Okay, justify around, and height needs to be full, padding 6, and I want to have the background header. This one here, stand. Let me minify this and screen. And where did I add it? In stand. It has to be in stand. Yes, background image, header. Okay, so yes, background header. and index 10. We save this. Okay, we can see here coming. I'm just gonna make this smaller. Just try to have everything in the screen, but it's quite complicated. So this one comes first. Okay, we can see things happening here. Okay, and now div class just to fire around. And now for this navigation, let's just add the classes. So first, the text needs to be aligned to the right. Needs to be flex, a flex row. Let's just add a gap of 6, self end, and yeah, I think that's all for now. Okay, this is how it's looking like. And now for the links, come here, and the links, I want them to have padding around. So padding, let's just say 6 as well. No, this is not around, sorry, this is like horizontal. And then, so padding at left and right. So, and then PY is for padding at the top and the bottom, is 2. And min width, let's say 100. And yes, and in our design here, you can see that is blue when it's selected, otherwise is the background is white. So background is this should be white. Okay, and I might just add some hover. Let's just check the colors we have. We have this blue light, so that's what I'm going to add. So hover, blue light, and then when you hover, the text is blue. Okay. Now, if we hover over, okay, and at the moment we don't have when we are in the selected page, we should have the background as blue, but we'll do that in the future. So I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. And yeah, so let's just save this and link. I also want the font to be the display one and uppercase. Okay, cool. And they look like the letters are really close to each other, so I'm going to add some lettering space. So tracking white. And for that, by the way, you could check the Tailwind CSS documentation, which I have somewhere. I had somewhere here, but yeah, just check the documentation. Tailwind CSS. Just bring it here. And in the docs, every time I don't know how to do something, I just come here and I just say letter spacing, for example. And I just see it. Yeah. So I chose this one, tracking white. In the H1, text white, text white. We could put this in the global CSS, but let's just leave it like here and uppercase. And it's way too big, right? It's a lot bigger than what we have here in the design. So I'm just gonna come and change it. Let's just say 3, or maybe this is the issue. I might just leave 3 for both of them. Yeah, okay. Cool. Header. And now in the image, class name. So the image is gonna be, the width is gonna be full. The height is going to be the same, height 48. I want this image to be placed in the background, like as an object. So object, and the object is going to be as a cover, so it covers the whole space. And object top, Okay, the position is going to be absolute. Let's just save this. Okay, and let me add here also margin bottom 6. Okay, cool. And let's move to the footer now. So in the footer, we are going to have, let's go to design, a list with icons that I'm going to provide you with. And but you can add here any icons you want, any social media you have, basically. And each of them is going to be a link. So first, I'm going to come here and create a new folder with all the icons. So icons, and just gonna copy them all. Icons, and let me show you what I have. So this is just an SVG. This is exported as a component, but it's an SVG. I'm passing here the class names, so you can add the specific class names to each icon if you want. Same for LinkedIn, Medium, and Twitter. Okay, and now something that I like to do is have here an index. Yes, X, and here I'm going to export all of these ones. So export everything from GitHub. Export everything from LinkedIn, from Video, and Twitter. Okay, missing one, and I'm missing one. Okay, I'm missing the envelope. Okay, no. Okay, and I'm missing one. I'm missing the envelope. Yes, so envelope, same, a component with an argument class name here. Okay. And if we come here, I can see that there is one more icon that we don't have. So we have in total 4, 5, 6 icons. So let me also copy that one. Window. Okay. Cool. Now we have all of our icons. So let's go to footer, and I'm going to remove this and add the footer tag. And here we are going to have a div, and then we are going to have a link per icon here, so the link will wrap the icon. Okay, so let's just do that. It's going to be a regular link because we are going to add external URL, so we won't use the Next.js link. Cool. Okay, so here link, and we pass this as a prop, so let's just leave it like this. And area label, let's just leave it like this as well. And so yes, and now here the icon. Okay, so let's start for the envelope. Class name, okay, so email, can just say like that. Okay, and okay, so gonna need 4 more. So we have envelope, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Medium. Twitter, LinkedIn, and Medium. And Twitter hasn't been imported, so yes, Twitter and Medium. Cool. Okay, so now here, Twitter, LinkedIn, email. Don't like this. Okay, just say it again. Okay. So unexpected footer. Okay, it's because it's missing here. So for now, just gonna pass empty calls. Okay, we can see here our icons, our links. And so let's just add the styles first. Class name. So we want this to be white, full width again. And we want to use this shadow footer that we had. And we want it to be fixed at the bottom to look like this. And yes, and to have some margin here, we can see, and some paddings. So first with full, okay, and then background white, shadow footer, margin top 12, the padding, let's just say 6 or 4, and fixed, bottom 0. Let's just save this. Okay, cool. And let's just come, and now here, last name, this needs to be flex. The items gonna be center in the middle. Justify also center, so everything in the middle. And let's just add a gap of 1. Okay, we can see them here. And now for the icons, I'm going to create a class so I can apply the same class for everything, so I don't need to copy the same styles in each of them. So let's just say icons for contact me. And if I copy this and I come to the global CSS here, now I can pass the styles. So I can say apply, and the text is gonna be 2XL. The size for smaller screens, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, and the text is gonna be black, and let's just add margin all around. Okay, let's just save everything. But yeah, we can see that it has been applied to one of them. Here. Okay, so save this, and we can see here our icons. Okay, the style is a little bit different. We have colors here, but I'm just gonna leave it like this because these are the icons that I have. So for some reason, this one seems a lot smaller, right? Maybe because it's next to the Twitter, to the bird. So, but yeah, it looks. We could add specific classes here to change that one, but just gonna leave it like this. Okay, so this is our footer. Let's just close this. This is how it looks like. Okay, but we don't have the links yet, so we need to pass that data. So let's go to our data. I can see that we don't have here pages about me, contact me, and projects. So we can come here and say export contact me links. And this is going to be an array. And here we could actually specify, we could add an ID, a label, and so on. But I'm just gonna pass the links directly. So let's just, which ones do I have? Email, Twitter, LinkedIn, and media. So time to code at Gmail. I don't think this is my email, but yeah. And now LinkedIn and GitHub and Medium. Or was it Twitter? It was Twitter, wasn't it? So Twitter. Okay. Okay, and now we can go to footer. Here we are gonna pass contact me links. I could import this data from here. I could do that, or like I don't need to do this. I could just pass it here directly, or we can pass it here as a prop, and then import it from here. I almost prefer that, so you get used to having dummy components, okay, that only accept the data. So let's just do this 0. And now, okay, so this is 1, 2, 3. And let's just pass from the layout the data. Save it, come here, and yes, if we hover over the icons, we can see it here at the bottom. In this side, you're gonna see in the left bottom corner that the links are populated. Okay, so now that we have our header and footer, we have the UI of both parts. We need to add the types, because if we go to both components, you're gonna see here that it's complaining because it hasn't any type, and the same here for header is complaining. So that's what we are going to do next. In header, I'm gonna create here props, header props, and here outside the component, type header props equal to, and now here I have name, this is a string, and then pages, which this is an array of objects that have, let me just check, pages have an ID, which is a number, label, and link. So ID, number, label is a string, and link is a string as well, and this is an array. So just like this with empty brackets, square brackets. I say here, I save it, and the warnings are gone. Let's go to layout, it's not complaining here. Okay, so let's go to footer. So footer props. Copy this, come here, type footer props equal curly brackets, contact me links. This is an array of strings. So string array, save it. Let's just double check, yes. And that's it. It's that simple. Don't take me wrong. TypeScript is usually not this simple, but in this case, it's actually quite simple, especially when when you work with your own data and you know the types of your data. It's quite simple for small projects. Cool. Okay. And so let's come here. Everything is still working. So let's create the homepage. In the homepage, we have 3 sections. First section with an image at the left and the text at the right. So straight away, I'm thinking 3 sections. The first sections will have 2 divs. Div for the image and div for the content, which with a flex column, so to display it in a column. Then the second sections will be only the text, and then the third section, same, 2 divs with the image, in this case, at the right. So let's come to page. Let me just close all of this, save, and let's come to page. Okay, so I can delete this now. And if I go to actually layout, have here the body and then the children, okay. I want each page to have the text main, so main, okay. And then I will have 3 sections. So let me just double check this side. Yes, okay. So section 1, And here I have two divs, this one for the image and the other div for the text and content. Then section 2, I mean, this could be a div rather than a section, but I like to structure it like this. And same here, but text and then image. Save this. And okay, so let's start by passing here the data, okay? So for this page, if we go back to the data, I have about me data, these ones, okay? So I need this object. So from page, I'm gonna import it. Import about me from data. Okay. And now, if I come here, we have the title. I need to pass the title, body, highlighted body, body 2, and that's it. So, this is, I guess we could add it as in H3 or H2. As we don't have any H2 in this page, so yeah, H2 about me data dot title, and then a paragraph about me data body. Okay. Okay, and here, this was highlighted body. This is body 2, which here, this should be wrapped in paragraphs. Okay, let's just save this and we can see our data here. Okay, cool. Yes, okay. Okay, let's start. Let's add here some styles actually. So this is going to be a flex column, and the items are going to be centered in the middle. Cool. Now for this one, class name, this is going to be a flex row actually, and the size, I want, so let's just check this design. I want to have some margins around, so I don't want it to be full width. So for that is have some like width 10, 12, okay? Margin top 10, items center, and let me add a margin bottom as well. Okay. Cool, and this image should be 1/3 of the size of the parent of the section. So let's just replace this for the image. Actually, let's just leave it within a div, and I add the image here in the middle. This is image for Nest from Next.js. Okay. And this should be 1/3. Like this, I think it is, yes. 1/3. And here, let's see, the width, height, this is everything we need, area, label, okay, old, src, and priority false. There are other things that we can add here, like a placeholder or a blur image that they are features to optimize the images. Probably something that we would do. Oops, I'm sorry. Probably something that we would do in the future, because there is something I want to say. You need to stay tuned because we are going to improve this project a lot. And we are going to use more technologies that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. We are going to add unit tests to this project. So if you want to learn how to create an end-to-end project, the same things that you will do in a company, stay tuned. Because yes, we are going to add unit tests to this project. Okay, let's continue. So for width, let's check the design for that. Okay, 34A, 5405. Okay, let's just say here 640 and 960, which is like standard sizes. And then for the area label, I'm just gonna use so here you could say you're like this similar what we did before, image of of the parts of yourself, but because I took these images from Unsplash, I'm just gonna use their names as the area label and alt. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this here because the area label and the alt, you are just explaining what these images are about. So just gonna use this exactly same for alt. Okay, and then we need to use the image that we have here in public. So images, and now I have here the image that we want to use. Okay, and actually a little better, just like this. Okay, let's see. It must start with a slash, didn't I? Oh, I removed it. Okay, cool. We can now see the image. 640, 960. Let me just put this at the top, but that doesn't matter. And then the src images. Let me just copy this. Yeah. Okay, we should be able to see the image. Okay, now we see the image. Cool. I also want to add some styles to make it look. Oh, I make a mistake. This is not the image actually. I'm using this image, but I want to use this one. So you just copy this. Actually, I'm just gonna copy this, paste it here because we will need it later. So, but yeah, let me just go to this image, copy it. Okay, and now paste it here and here and here. Okay, that's better. And I'm just gonna pass some styles as well. So class name, and I'm just gonna define it here. So for example, profile image. And now I can copy this. If I go to my global CSS, what is it here? Now I can say, okay, at first I want to apply like a rounded around. So rounded full, like a border radius. And now width is going to be 02, height 02 as well. Sorry, 100%. Object fit, cover, and object position 50% and it's 4%. Okay, cool. Now let me also apply some styles for the section now that I'm here in the global. So section, apply MB10. Save it. Okay, that's a little bit better. Let's go back to our page. Okay, so we added the image here. Now here for this div, let's just add some margins around. So ML left margin left 20, and the width in this case is 2/3 because this one was 1/3. Okay, and H2 class name. Okay, actually I have some styles here. So for the H2, oh no, I didn't add. Okay, so H2, let's just add a text XL, like 2XL. And, oops, apply. Uppercase. I also want it to be text black. And the width, in that case, it's not. So let's just look at that. Font semi-bold. Yes. And let's just add a margin bottom. Yes. So all of our titles have a bit of a space in the bottom. So the title has a bit of margin. So it's not next to the paragraph. Okay. Cool. This is looking cool. And pages. Okay, so we don't need to add anything here. I mean, if the H2 is different than this one, so we could add specific styles, but I think we can just leave it like that. And now, class name, here we want to use the text base. Okay. And for this section, for class name, okay, let me just see. We want the width to be 100%, pretty much 12 of 12. And we also need to add the background, this blue light, and add the height. So let's do that. So width, full, and margin, bottom and top 8, background blue light. Okay. Yeah. And padding 10, and the height is gonna be 4. Cool. Okay. So this like 100%, like this full means like is as high as what the content needed to be. So as high as the content, basically. Okay. And yes, this is looking much better. Okay. Let's go to the third section. So class name. Here in this one, we want to have, let me just go to the design. And so we have some, also it's not 100%, it's not full width. And yes, and the image will be 1/3 again, and this text 2/3 maybe. Let's just give it a go. So here, this is flex row. And yes, 10, 12, similar as earlier. Margin top 10, and items should be centered in the middle. Okay, and I mean, I don't need to add this text base because it should apply to, I think it should apply to all paragraphs, but yeah, probably don't need this. Okay, I just leave it there, but from here. Okay, class name, and then flex column, and now width, and let's just have a look. Okay, it's just like, it's slightly bigger than 2. Well, I'm not sure it's 1/3, or maybe we could try with something like, just to show you that we have more options than 1/3, you see. If you type 1 and you wait, you type the /forward and you wait, you can see here all the different options that we can have. So let's just say 7, 12. Say this. Okay, yes, I like that. And now class name here. No, I don't need it here, sorry. Class name. And the width. And this will be 5, 12. Not sure if I need to specify, but on margin left. Okay, cool, it's looking cool. And now in class name, the height, we need to specify the height. Let me just check. 248, so 250. So 250 like this. And now it's similar as earlier. It's a object cover. And we also need to pass the width around 500. So width 500. Save this. And yeah, it's looking pretty cool. If I compare this to the design, I can only see one little thing that is like this shadow here is not getting applied. So I'm just going to inspect the element. Footer. I cannot see the shadow. Or maybe I need to wrap this in another div to apply that. Let me go to footer, shadow, foot. Oh, okay, that's what it was. Okay, and it would be good to have a bit of margin bottom here, and yeah, we also need to update this. So the width here is 500 and 250. So okay, let's add some margin. I'm gonna add it to the main here, and margin bottom 10. It's not enough, so let me just add quite a lot more. Yeah, that's a bit better. And now I also want to add a bit of padding, so padding 10. Although, just gonna remove the padding. Yeah, I think I like it more like this. So if we make this smaller, okay, this is how it's looking like. So at the moment we have everything in a row. So when the screen is smaller, it should be better to have this as a row column instead. As a column, sorry. Yeah. So SM flex column. I think it should be just like this. And here SM with full. And SM with full. I mean page. SM flex column. Okay. Let me inspect this element. So, oh, right. Okay, so it's in the other way around, of course, because we designed for mobile first. Then, okay, so just like this then. And same here. Okay. Okay. Let's just save this. Yeah. Now it's working. Let's make this smaller. Okay, it's a bit too big, isn't it? And yeah, so let's just center this in the middle as well. So, okay, it's because we have some padding around there. Oh, because the width here is 10, 12. So this is also SM. Just gonna add it here. And this would be width full. Okay. Cool. And now I also need to justify all of this in the middle. So center, line items, well, align content, center. Okay. This is width. display flex center. Okay, justify content center. So flex justify center. This is only for mobile though, that's the issue. So it works good either way. Okay. Cool. It's a bit too big. Okay, let's just try to make it a little bit smaller. So here in profile image, how is small? To be honest, I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. We could improve the CSS, but I don't want to focus too much in this video about the CSS. So yeah, so let me go back to here. I'm just gonna add a couple more styles and then we could be done. So margin bottom, 2, margin top, sorry, or 6, and then SM margin top 0. Okay, this looks cool, and then only this one. So we are going to do the same. In section, this is gonna be for the SM, and then the width is a full. Yeah, and the SM, and then here is width. No, sorry, flex column. SM, then width full. Okay, hope you are understanding this. So we put this SM because this means like everything bigger than the mobile screen, that the SM screen, that the smaller screen, should apply these styles. And by default, we use this one. So because we want for desktop to be 512, we add SM. And then width here will be just full. And here SM, I don't want it to have any margin left. 0. Cool. And I'm gonna add okay, so this one has padding, for example. Let's just see the padding. It's just margin. But yeah, I mean 12, I'm adding there 12. I'm also going to remove it from there. So this one. Okay. So it's not this one. I'm just looking for the margin left. Margin left I have here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is SM only. And then this will be 0. And let me just tidy it up a little bit. So, okay. Padding, I'm just gonna add a padding of 10. Cool. And here I'm also going to add a padding. Okay. And in this one, another here. Actually, maybe I just remove it from here. Yes, but I'm going to add the margin bottom. Margin bottom 10. So MY is gonna be 10. And for the Oh, sorry. Okay, I want to add the margin bottle here. So bottle 10 and SM bottle 0. Just gonna move this to here. Okay, so this is how our website is looking like in mobile. Let me just put it properly. iPhone 12 Pro, 50% not like fits. Okay, now, okay, so the header needs a bit of adjustment. We have our massive image here, a bit of about us, this highlighted section, and our third section. I'm just seeing here that the section has quite a lot of padding. So I think I might just edit that. So SM, and then yeah, I think this is a bit better. Did it? It didn't change. Nice. Just reload this. Okay. Okay, I'm adding, I'm just being so silly. I'm adding also margin top and bottom in these sections. I'm just gonna remove because I'm already doing it in the global. So just gonna remove from here and from here. And where is the other section? And from here, gone. Okay, it's a bit better. I like a lot more. And the only thing is, I will add it back to this one. But I could just add it to this margin top. Let's just say 8 pixels. Okay, so empty time. Okay. And this is how it looks like in desktop. We go back to mobile. The footer looks good. That's fine. Now we have quite a lot of margin here. 32, so we can go to layout. No, page, yes. So this is SM. And then margin bottom, 16. Yeah, that is better. Okay, so let's just add a bit of styles here as well. I mean, ideally, you would have a menu, but we're not gonna do that for now. So instead of that, I'm just gonna make this gap smaller and maybe I can make this less width. It's not working. Okay. Padding 2 pixels. Okay, maybe I do something like this. Let's just do this. In header, in nav, here. So this is the same. So gap 0. Okay, and now padding. Where was our padding? Here. This is the same. So VX 1, just like that. Okay. Let me just reload this. Cool. All right. And now if each of them transparent transparent background. And I need to put this within here. Okay, and let me just add one gap. Okay, cool. I mean, this is not perfect and it needs a lot more adjustment, but it is looking better now, right? Padding left, PL left 2, Sam, Yell 0. All right. Okay, so we have our homepage. We have created our homepage using Next.js and TypeScript and Tailwind CSS. Cool. Okay, now we have the homepage already and with the responses. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it here for today's video. I think this video is probably close to 2 hours. And next week, we are going to continue with my project. So I'm going to show you, let me go back to the designs. Here, I'm going to show you how to create these nice cards, how to populate the data. And in future videos, I will also show you how to create a contact form and how to submit it. So this contact form is going to be 100% working. And remember what I told you earlier, we are going to carry on improving our app. I'm going to show you how to add unit tests. We are going to use Jest and React and the testing React library. So you are going to learn a lot in this tutorial, in this series tutorial, okay? So yeah, let's just leave it here. I hope you like this video. I'm sorry I haven't been posting the last 2 weeks. Life has been really crazy lately. I'm working in new projects that I really want to share with you. But yeah, no for now. But if you like this video and you want to support my channel, I really will appreciate that you leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe, of course. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.